Alright, y'all. Like crack in the 80s, let's talk about the Lakers.
After 20 games into the regular season, the Lakers have had a relatively slow start, which is certainly concerning for a team that has expectations to make a deep postseason run and, dare I even say, compete for a championship. And yet here we are this early on in the season, and they find themselves quickly at the bottom of the conference. With double-digit games in the loss column, an offense that has consistently been at the bottom of the barrel, and at its worst, it's been historically bad. And even though, yes, defensively the numbers may look a little bit more favorable, I don't think the Lakers are good on that side of the floor either. And if you are someone who is a bit hesitant to push a panic button, I believe the loss against the Indiana Pacers on Monday night is the perfect culmination of all of the concerns that many people have with this roster.
Yo, that game pissed off Lo so bad, he decided to make a main channel video. Alright, this is enough. I'm making this video starting now. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have a scorcher later, but I will get low this. That game was annoying. I'm in the cut watching the games. That one, nah.
As the Lakers blew a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter in dramatic fashion.
I didn't even know y'all did
Now, most of the problems that the Lakers face are easy to identify, and I'll go over them in the video. However, there is one massive problem with this team that hovers over this franchise like a black cloud, and yet it seems like no one is willing to address it. And even though it may come across a bit taboo, I still think it's necessary to highlight this problem so the Lakers don't find themselves in a much bigger hole moving forward. But before I get too ahead of myself, let's go back to some of those more identifiable concerns. First, offensively, the Lakers have struggled mightily to put the ball in the basket in any consistent and effective way. And even though there are several contributing factors, the biggest one is easily the lack of three-point shooting on this team. Now, I know, I sound like a broken record, but it is true. In today's game, if your team struggles with the long ball, they are bound to be stagnant offensively. And the Lakers certainly fit the bill. Shooting slightly above 32% with the long ball not only makes them one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the NBA this year, but also makes them one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the past decade.
Damn.
And if that isn't enough, what's even more backbreaking for this offense is how consistently the players on.
Yo, it says, ain't that crazy, bro? Everyone knows LeBron with shooters is a deadly convo. Y'all surrounded him with non-shooters.
Hey, so you wanna know why I was on my phone right before this vid? Yo, we just cut Matt Ryan. So what the fuck? what? Like literally as we doing this, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Team are missing three-pointers when they're left wide open. According to NBA.com, the Lakers are shooting a miserable 33% on open three-point shots. And for those who don't know, is when the closest defender is 6 feet or further removed from the shooter, and yet the Lakers are still missing those three-pointers nearly 70% of the time. Now, of course, those are characteristic traits that nobody in the NBA would like to have, but it's even more detrimental when the three most offensively influential.
Yo, the Lakers are mad funny, bro. This is the most Russell Westbrook ass shot I've seen in this video, bro.
We are a cartoon, bro. I swear.
Now, of course, those are characteristic traits that nobody in the NBA would like to have, but it's even more detrimental when the three most offensively influential players on the team are best utilized when they're getting to the basket, and LeBron, AD, and Russell Westbrook. Because of the lack of complementary style amongst these teammates, just running any type of offensive set becomes an extreme hassle. And even if a clean play is ran, it's still tough to finish because help is always just one step away. Of course, as time continues to progress, things will change. I don't expect LeBron to continue to shoot in the 20s from behind the arc, and to be fair to the Lakers, over the past couple of games, they've looked much better from the three ball because they used to be shooting sub 31% from deep. However, even with the improvements that we'll be seeing throughout the year, I do not believe that the Lakers will ever be a respectable three-point shooting team because of the personnel. Of course, some of these things can be addressed through a Russell Westbrook trade potentially, but even then, there's a lot of things you could potentially give up defensively on that side of the floor if you go on that route, which brings us to the other side of the floor. And defensively, I understand that the numbers may say otherwise, but I am not convinced that this team is good on that side of the floor either. The biggest reason why I feel this way is because I genuinely believe the weak schedule has inflated the defensive numbers so much so that many people have convinced themselves that this is a quality defensive team. However, when the Lakers are going up against a more well-balanced offensive-oriented team, such as the Utah Jazz, Golden State Warriors, and Sacramento Kings, they have absolutely no answer at all. And the huge reason for this is because they just don't have the personnel to do so. On the perimeter, the lack of size continues to hurt the Lakers, and even when it comes to some of the smaller guards, the lack of foot speed to be a quality point of attack defender also isn't there either.
Hey, nah,
the Pacers thrived on this all game long, as even slower footed players like Buddy Hield were able to get deep into the paint with little to no resistance. And then in the paint, outside of Anthony Davis, there really isn't any quality interior defenders either. Speaking of AD, he does a really great job of covering up a lot of the blemishes from the Lakers on this side of the floor, but there's only so much that he can do, especially when he has his hands full with a more offensively talented big man. Again, we saw this against the Pacers as AD was stretched out to the perimeter trying to defend Miles Turner, and anytime that he was trying to send help, the Pacers immediately punished him because of it. Similar things also occurred against the Golden State Warriors and the Utah Jazz as well. So this has been a common theme throughout the season.
Still on, like,
and as great as Anthony Davis has been, he just can't cover up everything.
I think he cooled
because
down.
of the high turnover with the roster, the lack of continuity and chemistry is very prevalent with this team. The lack of guidance and communication on how the team is supposed to defend screens was exploited routinely from the Pacers all fourth quarter long, and the non-existent communication continued to hurt this team, especially in transition, as the Lakers continue to leave open wide open three-point shooters during fast breaks. But the biggest problem with the Lakers early on this season is that LeBron just hasn't been LeBron. The counting stats are there, but the accuracy and efficiency is still missing. The lack of explosiveness and the inability to manipulate opposing teams' defenses is unbearably obvious. And even as James got older, he was still a very sound and smart defender, but the level of execution that is needed from him on that side of the floor has been absent as well.
Yo, Sage, I ain't gonna lie, bro. The other day, I took some time to rewatch like 2012 LeBron, even like 2015, 16 LeBron. That motherfucker was different, bro. Like, just the way he moved, much more intentional with his movements. Now, LeBron's a little, you can tell he's a little bit more lackadaisical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'll pick his spots when he attacks, but talking about goal mode every single possession, bro. Watch you some 2012 Miami Heat. Watch you some 2009 Cleveland Cavaliers. That's the LeBron that we talk about when we talk about the GOAT conversation, bro. One of a kind player, but now he's still a really good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player.
It's a name brand. It's a name brand. I'm saying it. It's a name brand to be 100,000 with niggas. It's a name brand. Again, I was way more casual with the last time I watched Prime Bron. I had YouTube algorithm, the Spurs Finals series. It played games 5 through 7. And then I had the game 7 in Golden State. I seen both of them shits. LeBron, like, we just watched the B-ball breakdown ass video not too long ago. LeBron was following his defenders, and every time LeBron moved or had the ball, everything was done with an intent. LeBron nowadays, dare I say, even looks lost sometimes, or just doesn't look like he gives a fuck mainly. And then, like, even in these clips, LeBron will be following someone on the fast break and then just stop following them. And mind you, he's LeBron James. He's arguably still the fastest person on the damn court. And somehow people that I'm probably faster than, if we were just running track, are burning him. It's crazy.
I think it's a matter of for Bron, truly, he knows he has nothing left to prove. Like, at this point. He's won for 3 fucking franchises. He's in the GOAT conversation. I'm going to be honest, even that conversation is like, all right, most people is like, if LeBron's your GOAT, then I am not arguing with you today. I don't know. He has nothing left to prove. So I get it from his end. But objectively speaking, LeBron is not the same, bro. And it is affecting this Lakers team. So
this was on display all fourth quarter long against the Pacers when LeBron hijacked the offense through several possessions, slowed down the pace, and allowed the Pacers to set up their defense against a team that doesn't have that much floor spacing at all, which basically made the entire possession a throwaway and quick, easy points for the Pacers on the other side of the floor. Heck, even if you look at the last possession of the game, LeBron is just aimlessly hanging around the paint, knowing that the Pacers need a three-pointer to win the game. Now, I'm pretty sure many people believe that the criticism that I am leveraging towards LeBron is unfair, and honestly, I agree. LeBron is 38 years old in year 20 and has clocked in north of 50,000 regular season minutes. At this stage of his career, having the expectations to go out there and perform as a top 5 to 7 player on a night-to-night basis is unreasonable. And I would go as far as to say someone at his age, with the amount of miles that he's put on his body, the performances that he is putting up on a night-to-night basis are still really good. But unfortunately, it's not good enough for the Lakers. And that is the true problem of the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, this is not a video of me trying to talk down on one of the greatest players of all time. And I don't even know if this is the real regression of LeBron. There's a huge possibility that his impact was diminished thanks to a foot injury or an illness that he sustained early on in the season. But the bigger problem is, regardless of why LeBron is playing so poorly early on this season, what it has revealed is how dependent this roster is on the excellence of LeBron and Anthony Davis to perform at top 5 or top 7 levels on a game-to-game basis. Now, many people may say that's not a problem because that's essentially what this roster was back in 2020 when they won a championship. However, to those people, I believe that you're missing a lot of the nuance of the brilliance of why that team was so great. That championship unit featured great defensive perimeter-oriented players, not only at the point of attack, but also with their wings. Then inside, the rotations of JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard freed up Anthony Davis to do a lot more roaming around, which really maximized his impact on the defensive side of the floor. And then you still had quality three-point shooters who, even when they weren't knocking down their shots consistently, were still viewed in a respectable enough light to keep the defense honest. That Lakers team was not only well-rounded enough for them to win a championship, but in the following season, when Anthony Davis missed essentially half of the year and LeBron missed a good amount of games as well, this team still found themselves in the playoffs with the #1 ranked defense in the NBA. And trust me when I say we all know that that could not be said about this unit at all. And to be fair, LeBron did request a trade for Westbrook that dismantled a lot of those championship features that the Lakers roster once possesses. So it's pretty ironic and sad that in year 20, LeBron is still being depended on to this level, but at the end of the day, he really has no one else to blame but himself. And the reason why all this...
I think being Bron dependent isn't necessarily a bad thing, but obviously with anything, like, in moderation, right? Like, it's just too much at this point, especially for LeBron's age. If you wanted to make that case even 3 years ago, fine. But that's the thing. 2020 y'all was 3 years ago. 2021 happened, 2022 happened, and we are now in the 2022-2023 season. So even LeBron from 3 years ago, that's not LeBron anymore. I'm sorry to tell you, and he's faced injuries since that time. So I agree with them. The only thing I'm worried about is, like, in what situation is LeBron not going to be a 1 or 2 option, right? Like, you have to be dependent on LeBron to some degree, if not, like, to a high degree because of the player that he is, name value-wise and skill level-wise. I think in any other, like, for a lot of teams out there, he's still, at worst, the second best player. You know what I'm saying? I don't see LeBron going to a team like Russell Westbrook did last season or the season before, when he joined the Lakers, you know, trying to be the third option to best utilize everything. I think LeBron is better than that, just skill level wise. But no, it's a tough situation, bro. I think what Lowe's trying to allude to is y'all should trade LeBron. That's what I'm hearing.
He been alluding to that for a minute, so yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. And I wasn't even fully against that idea prior to the news that we can't actually trade him this season. But I'll say this, where I won't even say push back because I don't disagree with what's being said, but I just don't think that it's exactly 100% on the money, in the sense of LeBron can still play a little bit better than what he has, right? Like, I'm not, like, asking for the guy to be top 5, top 7 is absurd. And you are asking for a lot. However, I can ask LeBron to, as long as you are playing basketball, to play basketball. I can ask him to play some defense, use the athleticism that he still has, because it's still light years above a lot of these other guys. And on top of that, and this is I guess a snippet of my hot take that I'm gonna say probably at the end of this video, Anthony Davis has been, in y'all terms, him. And shit, my terms, him. Like, Anthony Davis has been insane this season. I don't know exactly if he's hitting his 3 ball. That's the only thing that I truly just haven't been paying fucking attention to be honest. Because I've just been overwhelmed with the defense and everything else. Bro is on timing. I promise you. Now, is it inevitable he might go down? Yeah, he still loves his doctor. It is what it is. But outside of that, no, AD has been insane. So and there's hella teams out there with far worse number 2s than LeBron James that can succeed. The issue with this Lakers team, outside of the role players, truthfully, I'm not saying it's all on LeBron, but put it this way, nigga, you can't really say AR unless his stats decline. AR-15 been one of the most efficient players on the Lakers. You can't really say Lonnie Walker, who in this recent stretch, prior to this video, or I wouldn't even say that this video ain't that old, but Lonnie Walker, he's actually elevated his play. Anthony Davis, I just got talking about. Russell Westbrook, you damn well ain't talking about now. Like, shit, like, we understand he ain't MVP Russ no more, but damn, like, what more he got to do? At some point, it's like, yo, I don't need LeBron to be top 5. I don't need LeBron to be top 3. Shit, I don't even need to be top 10. I just need LeBron to not throw the game away. And if we being real, if you have respect for LeBron James in his prime, or even last year, or let alone the year before, let alone the year he won a championship with us, you'd understand right now LeBron is kind of throwing the game away, and it's tough. And that Pacer game definitely did highlight that.
Is important is because for the past 6 to 10 months now, the Lakers fan base has been sold this idea that this team is just one Westbrook trade away for competing for a championship. However, with the poor performance from LeBron early on this season, regardless if it's regression or not, it is very clear that a trade of Miles Turner and Buddy Hield to add some 3-point shooting to the roster is not going to address all of the concerns, and more than likely won't be good enough to justify leveraging even more of your future, because FYI, just a quick reminder, the Lakers have already moved on some of their picks in these upcoming draft classes, and if they dig even deeper in the barrel just for some slight improvements for a roster that still can't compete for a deep postseason run this year or next, once AD and LeBron are free agents, which for those who don't know, next season is the last guaranteed year on their contract, so not only are they coming off the books at the same time, but that is also the same year in which LeBron's son is getting drafted into the league, and he's already made it clear that he loves the idea of playing alongside with him. The Lakers going all in during the last 2 years of the LeBron James era, when during those last 2 seasons the team still won't be good enough to compete, will undeniably handcuff this team for the foreseeable future, and there won't be much to show for it. If we're being honest with ourselves, it just wasn't the Lakers. Conversations of just blowing this team up, especially with how poorly they started the year, will be taken much more serious. But here I am making a video that should be common sense, because I'm not 100% sure of the direction in which this franchise is willing to go just to maximize 2 more mediocre seasons. But hey, those are just my thoughts.
Yeah, it sounds like y'all just need to take the L on 2 more mediocre seasons. There's not really much y'all can do at this point, to be honest.
Now, here the thing, though, and I was preserving it. You gonna go on me if Lo see it, he gonna go on me, man. I ain't gonna lie. Dare I say we downplaying these niggas a little bit, though. The Lakers have not been, as of late, this bad. They really have not. They were like 2-7. I think even in the video it proved it. I'm trying to find right now. We were like 2-7. No, 2-8 going into 2-9 going into fucking the Clippers. And right now, what are we? 8-12. We're 6-4 in our last 10, which isn't amazing. It's 6-4. But I feel like when you have a lot of these players going right, and the only thing you're asking for LeBron to do is not fuck up. I know LeBron won't be a fuck up for the whole season. So at that point, I got 5 names that I'm actually saying are playing pretty well. Yes, the other 5 are dog shit. No cap. Like Matt Ryan got cut, Pat Bev on the block. Like I get it. Wenyen Gabriel plays, I understand it. But I don't know, man. I truly feel not title, because I'm not that stupid. But I truly feel like this Lakers team is about to turn it around a little bit to actually being like, okay, they'll definitely make the plan, or they'll definitely get that 8th seed or something like that. Which, granted, the 8th seed is still the plan, but I feel like we're getting downplayed just a smidget, especially like in this video that essentially is like on some depression type shit. I don't think we're at the lowest low, especially considering like if this video was dropped a week ago, I'd probably be on it. But like now, I don't know. We like just lost. We was 6-3 till like last night, I think.
Hey, I want y'all to win. I'm gonna be hella disappointed if LeBron was in the Western Conference and we never got to see Curry versus LeBron, like at all.
That'd be insane.
Like we never got to see that matchup. I want to see Luka versus LeBron. Luka gone. Listen, man. Listen, man. Y'all don't want to see that, chat. Y'all don't want to see that. Never mind, man. Y'all don't want to see Luka Magic do Luka magical things, bro. Y'all don't want to see that, man. Listen, man. We'll catch you on the next one. Bron, make it to the playoffs, man. I'm trying to see something. Come on, bro.
Click the video that he's referencing. Y'all have a good day, man. I pray Jimmy get Tatum, bro. Please.